Alright, so today I'm going to kind of compare the difference between the Repti foggers and the two different monsoons that we currently sell. The Repti fogger is going to be great at just raising humidity in the enclosure, not necessarily giving water droplets for the animal to drink from, but it will definitely keep the ambient humidity up, allow them to shed a lot easier, and just overall replicate more tropical environments. One thing that's nice about the Repti fogger, you can actually use it with the hydrotherm. And the hydrotherm is both a thermostat and a humidity gauge. You can use it to control lights, heating pads, anything like that, but you can also use it to check the humidity, and if the humidity starts to drop too low, it will turn on the Repti fogger for you and actually adjust that. This one is $74.99, and you can actually add it along with the Repti fogger, which is $60. Now, in the way of the monsoons, the nice part with the monsoons, they do make two different sizes, so if you're relatively new to the hobby, only want one or two animals, you don't really need the big multi-system. You could go with the solo system. The Monsoon Solo comes with one nozzle. You can definitely run up to two nozzles with it. So you could do, two small 12 by 12 cages, or with, one nozzle each. You could do two nozzles and one 12 by 12, something along those lines, or just two nozzles and one 18-18 type cage. This one here will come with two nozzles. It does run up to six nozzles, so you can kind of break that down however need be. If you want to go with one of them, a massive cage and run six nozzles in one, six tiny cages, however you want to do it. Now the monsoons will also raise the ambient humidity, but it tends to go a little bit slower because you're doing large droplets. Those large droplets are great for chameleons to drink from, geckos, especially crested geckos, day geckos, things along that line. Now, if you ran something like this with one of these, by the time the humidity actually jumped up, you'd actually be flooding out your tank, so I don't recommend that. But the nice part with these is they do have built-in timers. You can actually control how long they go on for and how often they go off. So it gives you a lot to play with and just kind of adjust in your cage and be able to control your atmosphere. Personally, both of them could be used in conjunction. You could have the one to keep the humidity up and fog, and then you can use the monsoon just to add in the water droplets for your tropical animals when it is time for them to drink or to simulate a rainstorm. Alright, so this here is the fogger. Now this one does have the ability, like I said, you can put it on a timer if you wanted, or you can use the hydrotherm thermostat with it to increase humidity. As you can see, this one's on pretty well full blast, puts out a lot of fog, and that's just going to raise humidity. It does kind of give that creepy, eerie effect if you have some blue or red LEDs going on in there as well.
Good for Halloween.
Yeah, it'd be great for Halloween. So on this one we also do have our magnetic clip that we're actually clipping it to the side with. This does help out with just holding it in place. The nice part about it is it does have this reservoir that just kind of turns off when you pull it out, so you can refill it, let it run, and then you just put it back in. We do recommend with both this and the monsoon to use either reverse osmosis or distilled water, and that just keeps them running a little bit cleaner so you don't get all that hard water deposits and calcium buildup and mineral deposits. So this is the Monsoon Multi. This is actually the old model. This one does still have the little dials on the front. The newer models actually have a push button instead. The dials on the older models used to mess up, not work properly, so they've made it into a much simpler way. You can still alter your cycles on the new one in the same manner. Same with how long the mist is actually on for. This one does have, you can see there's an off, an on, and then a cycle button. Now cycle is when you're actually going to have it on the timer. If you want to just, you notice your tank's getting dry, the animal looks like it's looking for water, something like that, you can just kick it on to on. That's just going to continue to let it spray. And as you can see, the lychee kind of has some water spraying behind it, although it's kind of hard to see through the into the tank. You can see some of the droplets forming on some of the plants, and that's going to really allow for the animal to drink from. Now to get it back onto the timer mode, you can just hit cycle, and then it'll actually continue to keep running through the remainder of the cycle, so just keep that in mind if you just have it on and running. But things like the lychees and the cresteds definitely benefit from it, same as your chameleons, and like I said, the day geckos, things like that will all love it as well.